expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, it goes the headlines, man. They all just go to plan. They're framed and fixed and rigged. You know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in, and cross its way under your skin. Just got loud from the things they spout, and it won't make you shout. Give me that good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit.
You have a great business. You know it, your employees know it, and so do we. So how do we get everyone else to know it? And how can you do it cost effectively? It's simple. Use EDDM. EDDM is a direct mail marketing program from the United States Postal Service named Every Door Direct Mail, and it allows you to get your message out for a fraction of the cost of a stamp. Here's how it works. Start by contacting your local Minuteman Press. We are your EDDM experts. Together, we will manage these important steps. First, set a budget that will give you the biggest ROI. Second, design a creative mail marketing piece with an awesome offer. Third, choose the best delivery routes based on demographics and geography. Fourth, print, bundle, and take your mail to the delivery post office. Fifth, manage a schedule for distribution using USPS mail carriers. 70% of people surveyed say that receiving mail is more personal than the internet. And 73% of consumers say they prefer direct mail for brand communication because they can read it at their convenience. With cost-effective EDDM, you can maximize your return on investment. Minuteman Press is your EDDM and direct mail experts. You know your business. We know how to promote it. We are the modern printing industry. Find your nearest Minuteman Press at minutemanpress.com.
All right, good morning and welcome to the grounds. As you can see, we got a full house today, full house behind the camera and around the table. Real quick shout out again, Minuteman Press and K-Love's Creative Mind. Thank you so much. Also looking at you, Ozbot. You can't see the Ozbot because you're looking at us through the Ozbot, that's right. But the Ozbot is there and it looks awesome. We look awesome because of it. We got a full table now, so we got some new people. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
My name's Kevin. How's everybody doing out there?
Nice to have you, Kevin.
My name is Zoe. Everybody calls me Coach Z from A to Z Basketball.
And Coach Z. So as you guys can see, we got a full house today. And I also have a big announcement. Next Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Next Wednesday, Distorted Sodas and Sandwiches will be opening across the street from CLB on Main Street in Crystal Lake. So
I can fill in a dimple somewhere.
Oh yeah, these guys will be out here. They'll be recording. We'll get some video. It'll be a fun day. It's going to be absolute chaos. So your sandwich might take a while, but we're going to be rocking our.
Invite all your friends.
Yeah, invite everybody. Bring them in.
Are you going to be making my sandwich?
I will be making your drink. Sean will be making your sandwich.
Dirty sodas.
Yeah, dirty sodas. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're gonna.
Pesto options.
Is there what?
Is there
pesto option?
Pesto, no.
Oh man.
What kind of place do you think this is?
Hey, Kelly's Market's got pesto sandwiches.
Do they?
Yeah.
But yeah,
they must be Italian in there.
I don't know. The sandwich place sounds fun.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll have
yeah.
to check it out just because
90s rock themed.
Okay.
So alternative sandwiches.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get the Nirvana.
Oh, yeah. So actually, you joke, but we have 15 signature drinks. Each one is named after a band: the Presidents of the United States of America, the Pixies, and it goes down the list.
Nice.
Come in, pick your favorite.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Oh yeah.
Location?
Right across from CLB, Main Street in Crystal Lake, right next to Forge Fitness,
Right next to
in
Fort.
the old La Michicana building.
Nothing says go work out than a giant sandwich. That's what I'm saying.
Right, 100%.
I know Coach Z is always down for the
Yeah,
sandwich.
you got a carbo load. You got a carbo load. Everybody
you
knows
load
that.
up the whole team with carbs before they start running.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Just shove it down their throat and then they tell them to run.
Make sure there's garbage cans at every corner.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kelsey.
Morning.
Morning, everybody. What do we have going on today? What's our topic?
So it's old school versus new school chores for the kids.
Okay.
What are they doing back in the day versus now? And
All
are
right.
even they doing chores nowadays? I feel like they just probably like Windex their technology and plug it in, and that's a chore.
Windex their technology. What the hell?
Do you think they even know what like the technology wipes are?
No, my mom used to give me a nickel for Windexing the technology. now with inflation, that's like a $5 chore.
I guess old school. What chore didn't we do? It was
True.
everything.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the dangerous ones.
Mhm.
Get in there, suck it up. That's what you got.
No, I gotta say, growing up when we did, I'm just glad I wasn't raised on a farm.
Oh yeah.
Because I had my chores, they were enough, and we lived in the city.
Take your own
I didn't need to be milking cows.
I was kind of jealous of the kids that grew up on a farm because by the time they got to sports, they had like a full six-pack
Oh, yeah.
and muscular. I was like, what did you guys do?
Kids
that
that
we
grew up on
didn't?
the farm, Kels, didn't have time for sports.
I know
That's
that
right.
was a
It was
sport.
morning.
It was hell,
It was dark, and then it was dark, and that was it. That was your day.
Yeah,
It was
and
breakfast and dinner.
people like
That's
my
right.
cousin may have six packs, but all they did all through high school was get drunk in a field because that's all you do when you grow up on a farm. So there's nothing fun to do. It's a trade
What
off.
about, maybe cow tipping?
I feel like that's made up.
No, actually it's not.
No,
I don't
that's
feel like you
not.
could tip a cow.
You can.
You can.
I would
I
love
was
to
in a
see
group
that.
of people that did.
Mhm.
Poor cow.
I was one of those guys. Yeah.
I knew some guys back in the day that, they lived in Indiana, and what they did on a Friday night, get a keg or beer, whatever, drive, you see a cow sleeping, standing up, and just tip it.
Okay.
And I was,
Actually went cow
You gotta
tipping.
put your shoulder into it.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So
Yeah.
it's not like a calf we're dealing with. It's an
no,
actual
it's
full-on
a
calf.
full
Oh, yeah.
on
Oh,
cow.
no, man, I might fall over before that one does.
Yeah.
You're not stepping in the pie first,
But yeah, I mean, again, cow tipping, another drunk field activity.
That's right.
You have to be drunk in a field to go cow tipping. It kind of all comes full circle.
Well, you're telling that to a guy from the inner city. Cow tipping. Yeah.
They had to travel for that. Yeah. And that was usually a bad drunken idea where everybody got in a car and they're like, we're going to go hit the country and do some things.
Yeah, that's never a good look. I'm telling you right now.
No.
But no, like I never, as a kid, I never had to muck the stables. That was never a thing. Like I never had to go out there and feed the pigs in the morning. You know what I mean? We had to clean our room, do the dishes, basic stuff.
Yeah.
They were chores. Like we didn't get allowance. Like my mom would give me she'd buy me a toy or something, but it wasn't like, you get, money like these
I
kids
had to
today do.
muck the bedroom and feed my brother. So it's the same, really.
Mm.
When it comes to chores, I'm a Southside kid. And it was the lawn. It was constant cleaning every day. It didn't matter. Your bed had to be made. Your stuff had to be picked up. There was no technology or podcasts to listen to while you did it. It was more of hearing your parents yell at you for doing it wrong and then having to redo it because they taught you how to do things right.
Mm-hmm.
There was an education to it. Coming from a world where I put the house key on a chain around my neck at the age of 9, let myself in the house after school because our parents were working. You had to be self-sufficient, and it taught us how to be self-sufficient. And I think that in the world of today, in the new school, as a Gen X kid, it was I'm never going to make my kids do that. So
Mhm.
we created the monster of a lot of the kids, what they don't do today, or I can't touch that, or I can't do this. And then we're like, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. You didn't want to come down on them like your parents. Then there's a realization through time where you're like, I should have just started with what I did. It's an education, I think. What were your big chores, though?
Me? I mean, obviously, when you get up in the morning, between me, my brother, and my sister, we had different.
What up, Coach?
Oh, look at that!
Hey, what's going on?
You look good, Coach.
It was too crowded in the other studio, so I figured I'd just relax today.
Yeah, smart.
You just didn't want to sit on a lap. That's fine.
That's
That's right. That's right.
Looking good though.
Good.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate that. Happy birthday too tomorrow, huh? Nice.
Oh man, we weren't gonna.
Oh,
shit.
my
birthday.
Tomorrow,
That's
my
all right.
birthday. Yes, but
That's
thank
all right.
you. Thank you,
45 years old, man.
That's it.
45.
Black don't crack, brother. Black don't crack.
Hey, God bless you, but I got the check for you, man. I promise you.
It's in the mail. So yeah, you were saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, between my brother, my sister, and I mean, it was the normal: vacuum, wipe down, wash dishes, make sure everything's clean. And we had to do that on a time limit because we knew our mom would be back by 3:30.
Right.
She leaves in the morning. If she comes back to the same house, it was something to our backside, quick. So, we didn't want that at all. So we had to do what we had to do.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand the disconnect because it did teach you discipline and, give you responsibility,
Yep.
right? But I don't understand the disconnect from that to now. I don't know. And it's not in everybody's house, obviously. Some people are still doing the same thing.
I'm that way.
But, some kids are just not into it or they're not, I wouldn't say forced, but, trained to do it.
Well, yeah, the authority has taken the back burner a little bit, right? And so it's a run of the muck.
Yeah.
And everything's handed on a platter. And then as they get older, they go out into the world and they experience what we call life. And they want to know why it's so hard. Well, because you didn't learn how to suffer. You didn't learn how to be responsible. You didn't learn how to, and I think that's where our parents came in to where, and I know we have different generations at the table, but my parents, they worked hard and they took pride in everything they owned, even if it wasn't a fancy whatever.
Right. It was theirs.
Right. And if you were taught to take care of it, and therefore take care of yourself, your own hygiene, your own anything and everything that kind of came across the line. And I think so. You're right. Today, it kind of fell to the wayside. The Windex and plug your tablet in, your phone in. So morning chores, Saturday mornings. Now, if you remember, Saturday mornings was cartoon time.
Absolutely.
Right?
Favorite time.
Saturday morning cartoons. You wanted to get done what you had to get, or you negotiated. Can I get it done after Saturday morning cartoons, right? Even though there was chores every day, don't get me wrong, but that was your norm. But Saturdays and Sundays, you had church, and then you had chores. And then there was a little bit of time for you, right? To go out, play ball, do whatever you got to do. But the big days were usually Saturday and Sunday for the extended chore list, right? And our house was spotless. I'm the son of an ex-nun. She was trained to be very strict, and everything had its place, which is probably why my kids are OCD because of it. My father, being a shy Italian, he was a bit of a slob, and he us stuff like it was like, why did I have you?
So I birthed you.
That's right.
So you can go and clean.
That's right. Get out there and do it. Right? He show you how to do it once or twice. And my brother tried getting away with, can you show me again? Kind of thing for him to kind of do it.
Oh.
And finally that caught up to him.
Yeah, I knew that didn't work well eventually.
Yeah. What about you?
Same as Zoe, pretty much.
Yeah.
Coach, You know, the chores, the big ones were Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 90s Bulls era. So
Okay.
for those that missed it,
Yep.
you missed it.
Yeah, consecutive.
Absolutely.
Right.
2 3-peats.
That's right.
Come home from school, you did your homework. Afterwards, mom cooked, but we took care of the dishes. Right. It was only right. You couldn't play your games, you couldn't shoot basketball until after your chores were done. Then you can go outside and play. Then you have to be in by the streetlights when they came on.
That's right.
Saturday was the entire house. Throughout the week, certain parts of the house would have to be cleaned and taken care of, but Saturday and Sunday, those were like the big weekends where all the clothes were being washed, and you had to fold them, and then you had to put them away. You have to wipe down the ladders. You have to clean the gutters. You name it.
The dusting, the windows,
Yes.
You name it. Right?
And we had Panasonic televisions. We're talking 60-inch, like big wide screens, not the flat screen TVs that you can carry with 2 hands.
Right. No, it was furniture.
Literally.
Yeah.
The TV, you can't move it. We move things around the television. The television stayed where it was.
You got a vacuum under it.
Correct.
Right.
Well, see, now you were talking about, the country and how these kids would have 6-packs. Picking up that type of television back in the day.
That was a workout.
Oh, yeah, that was a workout.
I needed a truck.
Yes.
He's not putting no big TV in the back of his car.
Yes.
That was an interesting point, though. Like, I was an only child, so I feel like it is a little bit different for people with siblings, because especially if you're the oldest, a lot of your chores are taking care of your younger siblings or helping them with theirs, with their homework, with whatever. I was an only child, so I just had to take care of my things. My mom didn't get home from work often until like 7 p.m. So I let myself in, clean up the house, or just do my own thing, clean up on the weekends if I didn't clean up before my mom got home.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, we had our basic chores. We lived in a little apartment though, so it was not hard to keep clean, Right. Very easy to keep track of. And then when if my dad ever came over, like sometimes I come home from school and I'd be like, oh shit, there's dad's car. I know the house does not look good. And I'd be like, maybe I should just hit the park real quick. Maybe I should just circle the block a few times. You walk in, he'd be like, put your stuff down and clean. You'd be like, here we go. It's going to be a rough one of those days.
Yeah.
Yep. And you always knew ahead of time.
We had like allowance. So like about 8 years old, my dad was like, okay, they're good. They can go off and like we can leave them a list. We can go to work, because my parents were both teachers and coaches. So a lot of times I was the youngest, and we had my brother, and then my sister was 10 years older. So she was kind of like the mom of the household, but she didn't have to do chores. She was in charge of us. So then my brother and I did chores. And a lot of times if you were to paint the fence or clean the fence or do dog poop or vacuum, which my brother hated because then we had to rake it afterwards, is you would get the most money. So my brother was a gamer.
Okay.
And he loved football. He hated doing chores, so I took his allowance.
Mm.
So I made the money. So I was like, well, this is nice. So I can buy things when we go on vacation.
That's right.
So it taught us a very valuable lesson, though. My dad's like, you can still go to school, play sports, and work.
And
like you make time for what you want. So, yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I'd be like, Davis, you want to do that chore? It's $24. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, give it to me. And then my dad would come home, all the chores are done. Yeah, Davis and I did everything, We don't give credit where it's due.
Well, that must have been nice.
No
allowance. Choice.
No allowance.
There was no allowance. There was no choice. He's like, you like the food I put on the table.
Yeah, there wasn't any allowance.
The clothes you wear,
It was more so a threat.
Yeah, right. If you want to stay alive, you'll do what I say.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, see, like it wasn't the same as it is now for allowance. Like I don't want to say like we never got allowance either, because it's not like my mom never took care of anything. She always was buying me stuff, or I got a toy or a new game or a book, or we go to the school book fair. She'd always let me get whatever I wanted. Like that's an allowance in my opinion. It just wasn't structured in the way like you do this, I pay you $5 like a job.
Yeah, like every week you make this much money as long as you do your chores.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have that. My dad we didn't have my parents didn't have a lot of money. So if I was going out with my friends and my dad was in a good mood, he'd be like, "Here's $5.
Yep.
Go have some fun." You know what I mean? He gave what he could. And bless him for being that way. But taking care of your own was a lesson. It wasn't about money. It was about teaching you life structure and taking care of your family. and family took care of family. And listen, when you didn't get home on time when that light went down, that light went off outside. It was hell to pay.
Oh yeah,
it was hell to pay. So, and then the neighbors,
you could be not thought about for
home,
8 hours. 8 hours could go by. Nobody thought about what you were doing, what kind of nonsense you got up to. As soon as those lights went on, though, if you weren't home, now you're in trouble.
It's like neighbors would be yelling at you.
I just
like,
committed.
Run! The lights are coming.
Right.
We all knew.
We just committed major mischief, like for 8 straight hours. But now I'm getting yelled at because the lights are on. I'm 5 minutes late. Like this is crazy. If you only knew what I got up to today.
Right. Like they didn't know you set that car on fire. Nice.
They would stand outside. You would be coming down the block, and they were just sitting there with their hands on the hip, and you're just like,
I got this.
Yeah. That's
yeah, man. I'll
mortified.
see y'all later, man.
Yeah.
Mine was more like miles. Like my dad be like, you can't drive more than 12 miles while I'm gone. So like if you went another mile over, you couldn't lie. The car told everything. He had horsewhip, so that's how we got it done.
Oh yeah, well.
Those
horsewhip.
Whoa.
hurt.
Easy.
I don't know, the belt, of course. I'd take the belt.
The belt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Belt, please.
What about you, Deke?
We had a perfect life. It was like Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah.
We came from the other side of the track, so we had a maid and a butler, like the Brady Bunch, so we didn't have to do anything. It was lovely.
Oh, you're so full of shit. I'm pretty sure when the log got too high, you just hooked the house up to the truck and moved it down.
That's it. Back in the day, it was corporal punishment, right? We didn't care about mental health at that time. It was like, and your dad would unlace the belt just to punish you. He wouldn't hit you with it, but you'd be like, oh shit, you'd run, you'd cry, you'd start crying before that even came out. But yeah, we had a list. So every Saturday, mom had that list, and before you could do anything, that list had to be done. And I was the youngest of 4 boys, so I always got the worst ones. Then I'd sit and cry, and then they'd get all their shit done. I wouldn't have any of mine done because I was crying because it was unfair. And then they're out having fun, and I'm getting beat because I got all the bad jobs. It was the way it was. But with my 4 kids, we still had corporal punishment. I whoop them. Now I've got a daughter who's a psychologist. So usually when you're a psychologist, you're trying to figure out your own stuff. So
Right.
but they knew what the red spoon. We had the red spoon. They knew what the red spoon was, and if that, all of a sudden, if that list wasn't getting done, you set the timer on the oven, and I'm like, all right, you got 5 minutes when this thing goes off. If that ain't done, I'm coming down with the red spoon. And guess what? 5 minutes, that thing got done. And then you had to sit there and go, listen, if you'd have just did it, we wouldn't have to do all this. It only took you 5 minutes. You could have got this done an hour ago, So, but then we started doing commission. So each job, then we put a dollar value to each job, kind of like what Kelsey was saying. Then they started fighting over the higher paying jobs. Like, wait, mowing the lawn is this much? I had my daughters were fighting over who's going to mow the lawn, so because it was money. So, and I'm like, hey, that's the real world. When you get out there, there's going to be higher paying jobs for different things. So. Now I'm down to just Lucy at home, who's 16, and Alice gets out the spoon. She's like, "Get your ass up, Jones. Let's go." Now I ain't got no kids to do the chores, so I got to do it. So Alice is whooping me now. It's bad.
Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
the only one that got the wooden spoon, and when the spoon broke, I got yelled at for it breaking. I got the wooden spoon over the
There was no such thing as a wooden spoon in our world.
Not
We
a spatula.
didn't have anything.
No.
No.
My,
It was anything they could get their hands on.
yeah. Oh yeah. Don't
That's it.
get me wrong.
Yeah.
Cords.
But
It's amazing.
looking at the ham coming out of the oven, all Italian grandmas come up behind you with a metal spatula and crack you upside the head. It's like, Grandma. She's like, oh gosh, it didn't matter what it was in their hand. But there was some wooden spoon incidents where the spoon would break, and I got in trouble for it. I'm like, how is that even my bad? Deke, because of your dad's profession, did you have extra chores at the church too?
No. They had like a janitor over there or whatever. So I didn't have to worry about any of that. Sometimes I go mow the lawn because I had a little lawn mowing business, but then I would charge for it.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I got volunteered for my dad's job. You know, you come to the job, you know what you're gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah, and
Mhm.
maybe I got White Castle afterwards, kind of things.
White Castle.
You know
Oh
what I mean?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's taking it back.
That's a blessing and a punishment all
All in one. Yes, you are so correct. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Sounds like Taco Bell.
Uh,
Blessing and a curse.
not quite. I mean, it's a little bit different. I mean, you know, as much as we love White Castle, the double stacks,
Yeah.
you'll pay for it in the end.
Yeah. Good. They went on fast.
That's it.
That's what you said.
and nice seeing you on the grounds.
You know, the one thing I hated though is like when I had to stay with my grandma when my parents were busy, is if you left anything on the floor, it was garbage. She would come around with a garbage bag.
I
And
do
she
that.
knew all the tricks. Like you can't hide anything in closets. She opened up closets. She lifted up beds. So if you hid anything, it was gone. You know, and my parents did the same rule with us. And then like, you know, some of us still implemented that same rule, but my brothers and sisters don't do it. Like it was so harsh. And I'm like, but all you do is rebuy them new toys. So you have to teach them to clean up after themselves. As a parent, I don't ever clean up my son's toys. He does it himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been doing it since he was the age of like a year and a half. The moment they can get up and walk on their own, he can pick up anything on his own.
That's true.
I love
That's
that.
right. That's right.
Which, by the way, I'm laughing because my son's like running back and forth through the hallway.
Oh, that's fine.
So
My kids leave a trail. They leave a trail wherever they go. And then that stuff is left there. I don't touch it. I got to the point where I was fed up and I grabbed the garbage bag, I loaded it up. And they're looking at me and I opened the door and give it a swirl and I chuck it right out into the street. I'm like, either go get it, put it away or figure it out, because every time I see it, it's going to end up in the garbage. I'm done. You know, and now, listen, I'm the only man in a house of women.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's, you know, now I'm dealing with my wife and I'm like, now I just, yes to everything. Okay. No, you're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's fine. You know, so I just go, hi, honey, I love you. But at the end of the day, do I win that battle?
You're never going to win that battle.
but you're not sitting on the couch. So did you win the battle?
No.
See, the crazy thing with teenagers now is they leave food, plates, bowls, silverware, half drink cans of
worst,
soda
isn't it?
all over the house. You're like, why is this in the bathroom? I don't understand. And I'm like, you're literally going by a trash can, or you go by the kitchen. This needs to be in the kitchen. And I mean, if there was, it was a special thing, like a Saturday night watching Disney or something, if there were dishes outside of the kitchen growing up. And now it's like an Easter egg hunt at my house. There's dishes everywhere and I can't figure it out. And I'm just like, how does this even make sense? It's just crazy.
My oldest loves oatmeal, and she'll take it and she'll take it up to her room.
Okay.
And then by the end of the week, I'm like, where are all the bowls? And so I go up and I look at her room, and you know what happens to oatmeal when it sits in a bowl it turns into concrete.
Right.
If you're trying to wash a bowl so you can use one, you have to let it soak. You have to get out a chisel. There's all kinds of, you know, you need an education for it.
That's right.
It's crazy. And so I just like, I'm like, can you please just at least put it in the sink, put water in it. I'll take it that far, right? But for the most part, they're pretty good because all their stuff they keep to themselves, and they take care of, like, if it's a common area, they'll pick up for the most part. But their rooms are like, you know, leave the door shut because I'm not dealing with that kind of thing. Once again, only man in the house.
Man.
The doors were left open.
Yeah.
In our parents' house, there was no closing any doors unless you
Well,
were
they're
changing, and that was it.
Yeah, no, they're closed when there's nobody in there, so nobody else can see in there. You know what I mean?
So you're not subjecting
Right.
everybody to your personal
Right. It's like
space. Yeah.
the closet where they have to put everything in the closet, and that's close the door real quickly.
I know.
It all doesn't
We
come
got to
piling up.
Bernstein Bears it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you gotta be ready like
Listen,
this. with
you know what I'm
both of
talking
them.
about.
Oh, yeah. Porky Pig and all
Oh,
that.
I used to do that all the time. My mom was like, you look at the Bernstein Bears. I'm like, are you going to hang pegboard organizers? Checkmate. Shit gets thrown in the closet.
I don't know, the chores taught like a very valuable lesson because as the older we got, like you could then ask neighbors like, hey, do you need help with cleaning or do you want some outside yard work done? Like then you made extra money. Like that's how I made money all through college, was because my parents taught me those chores had value. So it's like I know how to make a fence. We know how to build decks. Like my parents taught us everything. I could probably build a house if somebody helped me, you know, but like my dad, he had us, we jerry rigged everything. That was a joke in our family. Unless it had a crack in it, we didn't burn it. So we fixed everything. So it's like now we know how to, that's why moving into like homeowners, I always want to fix it. I don't want it done for me. I'd rather the plumbing be done, but I'd rather fix it myself. So.
Well, and two, the education of learning how to do things, you know, the pilot light on your furnace, you know, all these things. Today, Zoe like, they don't even know what a pilot light is. I actually had a kid me go, pilot light? I was like, really? And we had to learn how to fix, how to do, you know, try to be safe about it the best you could. But there was a time too where when you left the house, you hated doing your chores, but you did them. But when you left the house and somebody needed help outside the house, it was, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, let me help you with that. You let me load that for you in your car. Let me, you saw an old man in your neighborhood mowing the lawn. You're like, oh, come on, I got this. And then they tried to give you money, and what was your thing? Nope, not taking that, because that my parents taught me better, right? So my parents were always proud because we were definitely those kids where we always wanted to help people outside of the house. But when it came to our own stuff, we dreaded it. We did it, but we dreaded it. But we loved the feeling of the satisfaction of doing good for others and succeeding. That my parents were proud of that. They were actually really proud of that, and that continues today. You know, my kids do the same thing. You know, if they, you know, my daughter's got a friend who has a rough home life, and so last night it was probably around 8-9 o'clock at night, and she's like, "Oh, got to get ready." I go, "For what?" She's like, "I got to make a sandwich." I go, "For who?" She goes, her mom's not feeding her anymore, so she's going to pull up in the driveway. I'm like, "Give her a bag of chips." She's like, "Yeah, can I?" I'm like, "Absolutely, load her up. You know, whatever she needs." And this girl's not even allowed to take the food home and eat it because her mom will take it from her and eat it in front of her. So, yeah, listen, there's shit like that in the world, right? So I'm proud of my kids because they love helping people. So that's kind of a big thing in our house. If you want to be sloppy, that's one thing. But if you're doing the right thing, that's more important to me than anything else. Knowing that you have that to carry that forward in a new generation is huge for me because you don't see that. World's on fire, right? So
yeah.
You'd like to see a little bit of that positive that kids are doing for other people today. So I'm proud of her for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You.
Well, and you know, chores can be a good learning experience. Life lessons are a good learning experience. I don't think pilot light is one of them. I'm going to throw that out there right now. I've been in my current house for 8 years. I've had to light the pilot light manually once. If I
you know how to do it?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
because when I was a kid,
point, right?
Here's the thing. When I was growing up, we had a gas stove that was real shit. So I lit that pilot light all the time. I watched my mom do it. If I hadn't had that experience, there would have been no time when I would have learned it. If I had a kid right now, again, in the last 8 years, I've had to do it one time. The chance that my kid would know how to do a pilot light is very, very slim. Well, I've never had to do it for my stove.
Yeah. Worst chore in your life? What was the worst chore as a kid?
Cleaning the stove and the oven.
Oh God,
Yes.
Yeah. That's one of them.
Yes, you are spot on with that. You know.
Turlets, cleaning the turlets. 3 older brothers.
Oh.
It's like a nuclear bomb went off in there.
Oh, yes. Visual. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cleaning
Like,
up
how did
after the
that
dog.
get on the ceiling? That's crazy.
I missed.
At the Jones house.
Man.
Oh, we at the Jones house.
Hey, I've been to truck stops that were cleaner. I'm telling you.
Hey, listen,
Oh, I feel just fine. It's nice in here.
it takes a lot of work to take care of the bathroom here at the studio.
It does.
I'd rather clean my own bathroom than clean up after the dog. That is the worst. That's the worst chore there is. Go out there, take this bag, fill it with dog poop, and just throw it away. If you fill one, fill another one. And it's like, what? Half of this ain't even my dog. We don't have a fence. Like, what? Go to the end of the block. Like, why?
Oh my God.
I just think I thank God you don't have a camera out in your yard because I usually run over there and poop. So.
Right.
Is that tea? That's not the dog.
It would have worked better if you hadn't left a note.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Love the dog.
See, I had corn.
I don't know. I mean, I got the most injuries from building decks. So like probably that. Like I don't know how many screws went through like fingers for me until I got the hang of it that I didn't have a sturdy wrist. But the worst chore.
I need a deck. I'm about to ask her.
Right. I'm like, you're Bobby the Builder.
Yeah,
That's what you are.
sure.
Yeah.
Come on through.
I don't know. It's probably just more of that. I hated slivers. Oh my Lord, I hated.
I mean, what are you doing at your house that you got to build a deck on a wood?
Well,
Every
because,
week,
like,
actually, build
Right.
it.
Tuesday, let me go build a deck.
Again, girl.
we built 3
Jeez.
of them in our entire life, and we rented all the equipment from Home Depot, and then we just all learned. Like my grandpa came out because he was I can't say what he was, but somebody back in the day. But my dad just wants to learn everything. Like that's how we gain knowledge. Is he taught us everything that we needed to know so we could survive on our own. So I don't know. We all enjoy building, and I think it's because it's a bunch of shits and giggles.
Mhm.
And half the time, you got the one person who's really good at drilling, you got the other person who's good at handing it over to you. So it's like an assembly line. And they got the one who makes all the drinks, which is my mom.
Yeah,
You know, so
I you know, you got more than me growing up. I mean, the furthest I would go is, my father taught me a lot about cars. How to change a tire, how to change the oil, timing belt, that type of deal. So I know how to do that stuff. You can build the Willis Tower if you wanted to.
Right. I was automotive.
Right.
You put a measuring tape in my hand, it'll still be wrong. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
I'll measure 7 times and I'll still cut wrong. I'm not meant for that. I always ask Deke, I'm like, can you come over and help? Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Because I can't. I have a creative mind, and I know in my head what I want it to look like. And on paper, I can probably even put it pretty good.
Sure.
But you start putting the tools in my hand, it's the ambulance is called. There's cops. It's a bad day. It's a bad day. So I congratulations to you on that. So
see, I didn't hate chores though. Like I love cleaning. Like my therapy is doing laundry and keeping my house. Like Kevin knows, like I'm very clean.
Now I'll tell you that I have to agree with that. Now in my older years, I think it's therapeutic for laundry. I can do the laundry all day long, sit back, fold, put my ear pods on and just go to town. I fold anything, right? That's just what I do. It's just like it takes me away. So, but back in the day when you're a kid and you see a pile that's this high, you're crying immediately. Like, oh my God, it's going to take forever.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm like that with dishes.
Yeah.
They just stack them up. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna knock it out. And I get locked in and whatever I'm listening to and something in the background, and you go to town and that's it's done. However, once I'm done and I walk out of the kitchen and I come back in, there's like 5 more goddamn bowls in the sink.
Yeah.
I'm like, son of a bitch. I get frustrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good therapy to where it's you and yourself to just get away from the actual stress of life, because between work and everything else, and you even mentioned it earlier, basketball.
Yeah.
Now we got spring break coming up to where you're like, a staycation. I don't want to talk about, I don't want to look at a basketball. I just want to, you might even have a fishing pole in your hand. Who knows?
It's March Madness. I don't see him not doing anything.
I will watch March Madness for sure, but me teaching and being involved in it, no, I want my
You need a break.
I need a break.
No pink whistle.
No pink whistle.
Thanks,
Oh
Kevin.
my God. Yes. Shout out to Kevin for that. Jesus.
There's another Kevin, Coach Kevin.
Nice.
Good Lord.
So
Yeah, they're fun.
But now since like I like doing chores, I guess to myself, is I look at people the same way. So if they come over to my house and they don't pick up after themselves, you are no longer invited. You know, like, oh, I see how you were raised. Like if I have to say it more than once or twice, like it's a no-go.
Careful the camera.
Zay, Zay, come here.
And then speaking on chores,
Saw that coming.
when it was your day to do chores as we got older, adolescent years, it was your day for the entire day. So like you were saying before, seeing 5 extra more bowls, it was breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Mm-hmm.
You were constantly in the kitchen.
That's right.
Sweeping, mopping until the entire day was done.
I don't care what culture you're from. The kitchen is the center
sacred.
of the house.
Oh,
It
my
is the sanctuary.
goodness.
Yep. It is the center of
It's
the
like, Mom, this lasagna is great. Yeah, it is. And you're on chores afterwards, and it's like, Mom made a big pot, like a big tray of lasagna. You
Mhm.
had to clean the entire.
Yeah, I think most families probably at this table, they way overcook, right? For like 30 people, but there's like 4 of you. And so there was always so much leftovers and everything else. So when I had to do dishes at home with my dad was the cook.
Okay.
My father, a long line of grocery stores, restaurants, my whole family, right? So
Yeah.
I had a spatula in my hand at the age of 5. And I taught at a culinary school, actually, I was a chef for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he would always overmake. But then I had to do the dishes. And I was like, was it necessary to use every single pot and pan and dish and spatula and silverware and knife in the house? You know, did you eat? Yeah. Was it good? Yeah. Shut up. That's what I got. Shut up and do the dishes.
And they had to be spotless.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got the looking through the glass. Yeah. Okay. Take pride in what you do.
Literally.
Take pride in what you do.
You gotta see yourself in the silver.
Yeah.
Remember holidays, the formal setup with the good plates. You had the good
China
plates.
plate.
Oh, you couldn't touch the china. Oh my.
Who here knows how to set a formal table?
Oh, yeah.
You
I
guys
do.
know, right? Yep. Right. Not too many people know that anymore. I get a lot of, what's the little fork for?
Right.
You know, and I'm like, that's in the wrong order. You know,
Man, look, with today's world, they don't even have the time frame. It's like whatever. Little fork, big fork, medium-sized fork.
you had
eating.
kitchen, you had a kitchen table. Then you had a dining room.
Yes.
And a dining room table.
Yes.
Usually followed with a buffet or a hutch or a china cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that was for important days.
Important.
That
Yeah.
was where family was coming over, and
Sometimes you get the leaf out of the basement,
that. Oh yeah,
make the table bigger.
that's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
bigger. Yep,
Oh, we got the cousins come and get both leaves out of the basement.
that's right. So now
Now we got a banquet
for
table.
holidays was extended.
Oh, yeah.
You started 3 days ago
Mhm.
to get it where it's at today.
Yeah.
And there was whoopings if there was messes all the way up until that day. No, maintain. You had to maintain. You went in deep, and then you had to maintain.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't even know dining rooms are
A thing.
right.
No, it's like a museum, man. I mean, even in my house, I mean, we have the kitchen area, obviously, and then you have the dining area for special occasions, Thanksgiving and stuff like that. But even at that time, everybody bypassed that to go to the TV because football's on.
Correct. It's all in the living room.
It's
Living
all in
room,
the living
kitchen.
Yeah.
Living room, kitchen.
When you see my dining room, it's a bar.
It is.
I got rid of my
You have
dining
a
room.
full bar in your house.
Yeah, I just got
That
rid of the dining
worries
room.
me for you a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Does
a
it?
couple coins involved.
Oh, you toss them in the bowl. You can have anything you want to drink.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
This is my 3-weeker. That's great.
The dining room was the nicest place in the house. The cleanest, actually.
Yeah, always.
You could
Always.
barely go in it. It was like next to the kitchen, sacred grounds.
Yeah.
Because that's where Mom's china cabinet was.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing you can do is just sit there and look at it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yep.
One fingerprint,
Mm.
there was an issue.
Yeah.
And if you touched it, you you better clean. You better gloss that bad boy up real good.
That's right. Well, in summer times, so inner city, right? We're at in the city.
Me?
Yeah,
Well, we are from the Inglewood area.
Inglewood. Okay, so the houses are old enough. There's no central air,
Mm-hmm.
right? I remember growing up, I was 55th of Kenzie.
Uh-huh.
So we had the window unit. and we were only allowed to run it on certain days because it drew a lot of power. It cost a lot of money, right?
Mhm.
So when the holidays would come up, it was my job to clean that damn thing,
Right.
because it was always disgusting. Because in the summertime, you run it, you can get the dust off the front of it, but then you had to open it up. When you open that thing up, I was like, okay, here we go. My dad would be like, you got to get the fork, and then you got to go in between those little grid lines for the cleaning things. Get all that. Jesus.
Now, imagine that. You're talking about this now. Fast forward to today's world.
Right?
Can a kid withstand that?
No.
No. Not at all.
No.
They won't even know what we're talking about.
Nope.
They may call the police on us saying it's,
Yeah,
child abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm glad we got a chance to learn all those different things, all of us, to become, it's shaping who you are character-wise, right?
Mhm.
But, finding the identity in some of these kids, some, not all, some, it's like, man, how are you going to make it in life? How do you walk and chew gum at the same time?
Well, someone mentioned to me a long time ago that, suffrage is an education. You have to learn how to suffer. The yin and the yang, man. There's good and there's bad.
Yeah.
How do you get through the bad if you don't experience it? How do you get through the bad or the hard times if you haven't even touched that?
Right.
The world isn't a bowl of cherries. You might get one, and it's your mindset that gets you through your lifetime. And so there was a gentleman I met in one of my networking groups. He had a whole speech on avoid the suffering by enduring the pain. And he was literally at 9 years old, was hit by a semi, woke up and his arm was across the street. So surgeries after surgeries after surgeries. And now he's a big stage speaker. And he talks about how he made it through that. Does it still hurt? Yeah, but now it's just part of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's just not misery and suffering all the time because he learned how to endure the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's extravagant. Don't get me wrong, but even those little things that carry us over, do you know what it's like sleeping in 98-degree weather with, 100% humidity, with the fan that barely blew through the window and the sheets sticking to you and, not sleeping, I should say, right? My father would give us a water bottle and he'd be like, spray yourself down, turn on the fan. Every 20 minutes I'd wake up. You know what I mean?
Right. We would sometimes forego just even laying in the bed, but sleep on the floor because, again,
it's cooler.
Yeah. There.
Yep.
So, you just improvise.
The scary basement, my brother would go down there. He said, I don't care if it's scary. It's cold down there. I'm going down there. You know what I mean?
The crawl spaces?
He'd lay on that concrete. He wouldn't care. It was hot. But it's just the little things like that, and not having the central air. Listen, I am not great in the heat. I got central air at home now. I pay the bill on it. Guess what?
Happily.
That thing is running 24/7. My kids are like, it's so cold in here. I'm like, put on layers. Once I'm naked, you're going to want to burn your eyes out. So you can add. I can't subtract any farther.
Right.
Right. So it's staying on.
That's right.
Because I've earned it, man. I work hard for it. I'll pay it. That's my thing, right? But yeah, kids I don't think there's not too much for that. Well, I'm sure I can't say all. There's certain families that have no choice, right? But in a suburban lifestyle, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah.
It's got it made. You don't even realize what you have. I saw a video of some kids complaining about something, and they're like, well, what about you, to their parents? And I was like, what? The parent went up to the sink. It was like, lift up the faucet. And I was like, huh? Job, check.
Mm-hmm.
You're alive. Ooh, check, and check, right?
Right.
You have a bed to live in. Oh, check. Open up the fridge. There's food in there. Light switch, on, off, on, off. You don't even realize how good you have it because it's the norm to them, and they've never had to suffer to it. So I think suffrage there's something to that.
Of course it is. Yeah, I agree 100%. These kids with the sense of entitlement, they're just spoiled. And a lot of that has to do with some of the parenting,
Sure.
Because nobody wants to have their kid go through what you went through growing up. You want to ease it up just a little bit, but you still want to give them a little bit of, hey, this is what we did. I need you to understand what it's like so you can see the difference of what it was with me and how you have it good now. So no, I don't know, man. It's every day it's a struggle. Excuse me, struggle with especially in my profession with kids, and Kelsey can attest for it because we see kids coming from all walks of life.
Sure.
But majority of kids that's in my program, are a little bit well off. So to talk about things like this to them, it's foreign.
They have no clue.
Yeah.
One ear and out the other.
Yeah. Listen, mom and dad can afford to send you here for basketball.
Yeah.
That's a whole blessing in disguise in itself, is it not? I mean,
Yeah.
First, go to St. Louis Park, and here's a ball that we found used
Mm-hmm.
that might not bounce right. Kind of scenario. So you're a little bit of a different gen than we are. So what about for you? Was there any suffrage?
I mean, yeah, everybody's got it. I mean, my house didn't have central air
either
at all.
Yeah.
When I remember first thing I did when I got a job, I went right to Menards, got myself a window unit, 16 years old, plugged it in, paid my mom for the electricity, and I ran that motherfucker all summer long. And that's
Cut that door closed.
Yeah.
I ain't sharing it.
Oh no. We had one plugging away in the living room that wasn't doing nothing. No, I put that one in my bedroom and I stayed in the frosty air. And I just, to this day, just like you, that is, as an adult who can afford my own things, I will crank that AC.
That's right.
Because
I want to see my breath.
and and sure,
The exhale.
sure I feel like you appreciate the things that you didn't necessarily have always. Kids today, they have a different set of things that they'll learn to appreciate more. I hope, I'm not going to turn the air off on my kids. I'm not going to make them struggle and be like, oh, it's hot in here. No, not if I have air. I'll pay for the air. They'll struggle in their own way, on their own time, in their own ways. I don't need to put them through any suffering on purpose. And I don't really consider it suffering doing chores either. Like, it's just learning,
No, it's learning.
like I don't consider that if you're doing it, I know a lot of people do it as a punishment, like you're being punished. I feel like that's part of the era of spoiling children.
Life, right?
If you're considering doing basic chores as a punishment and you're teaching a kid that, I don't feel like that's the right way to do it either, because they're going to grow up not wanting to do chores.
Yeah.
Teach them why it's good for themselves to do it. I mean, that's how it was for me. Just keep our space clean. You want your space to be clean.
Take pride in who you are.
You want your space to be nice. You're going to have friends over. They're going to see your space. You want to be embarrassing for yourself. I mean, it was always at will in my house. And I feel like I struggled in just having to figure things out for myself, having friends over and having them be like, oh, that's messy. And like, oh, wow, I'm actually embarrassed. All right. You were right, Ma.
Right.
I should keep my space clean. And then now, it's just me and Sam. We got the big old house. It's a lot to take care of just for us. Yeah. But we like to keep our space clean. We do it just for us.
Yeah, you guys do. You guys are pretty immaculate for the most part.
Yeah, we try. We're busy, so it's a little harder. We don't have kids to tell them to clean up after us. Right. But also we don't have kids making a mess. So
that's true. Yeah.
That part.
That helps. That helps. Yes. Nico, anything in chat?
Yep. They're poison. Too many sick kids making poor choices.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of bad decisions being made out there. I don't think anybody purposely wakes up and goes, it's time that nobody's going to make bad decisions today, so I better get up. But I think for the most part that teaching your kids how to make better choices is kind of key to that too.
But these kids live in a social media era, so bad decisions lead to higher audience.
Monkey see, monkey do. They see it online, they want to do it themselves, right?
So it's kind of like I just had a niece that did a suicide thing at school because she saw it online and it got attention. So these kids grabbed a knife and cut their hands for attention and then posted on social media. And I was like, why are we doing this? We're 12 years old. That is so unsafe.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I'm like, well, this is why I think that's where the parents should come in, technology time, and you have age groups for it. My son only watches 3 to 5 years old. You know what I mean? He's not going to watch anything else because I need to teach him as he gets older. That's not something we do.
And there is a lot of parenting involved, right? Like
Yeah.
your kid goes out and watches the movie Jackass. That is a conversation. Hey, these people, like you,
Right.
yes, you can go out and recreate these stunts. You can hurt yourself the same way. You will never be this famous and no one will care. You're doing it for no reason. Like that's just a conversation with your kids so that they understand what they're watching is for entertainment.
Yep.
I would never expect, I mean, I would hope my kid wouldn't be dumb enough to go out and reenact those things, or like you said, the social media. Like I would hope that I've been communicative enough with my kid that they're not going to go out there cutting their hand for a video.
Yeah, it's for The Hangover when he would cut and like shake hands with people.
Oh, that's just funny.
Yeah, but
100%. I'd
That's
encourage
the reason why
that.
they
That's
did
fine.
Yeah, you tell your kids like, yo,
Yeah, that's just hysterical. That's
Welcome
good.
to the
That's good,
studio.
clean comment.
Yes. I think everything is in the palm of their hands right now. So, long story short, you have an uphill battle parent-wise to, keep kids in their place and let them grow like they're supposed to, like we did. But when you have this, it's always going to be a fight.
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
We
the
didn't
old
have
pocket
that.
computer.
We didn't have that growing up.
No.
That's the flip phone.
oh yeah, the flip
with a
phone.
classic Game Boy, I was met with 250 pixels.
I'm pre-flip phone. I'm pre-pager.
Yeah. I was in
I'm
college when the
dating
first
myself right
smartphone
now,
came
but-
out.
That's right.
Yep, that's why I gotta go.
I was the one that placed a call and said, "Come pick me up. I'm ready."
Yep. Dial down the center.
That's right.
You got to get picked up from swim practice. You got to dial down the center. You better hope that somebody's listening.
You have a call from. I'm ready. Let's go. Pick me up.
I always had change in your pocket.
Always.
Yeah, I never did. That's why you
No.
dial down the center.
Yeah.
You got change. You just dial the phone number like a rich person. I don't know about you.
I probably be like, "Where'd you get that from?"
Yeah, no. All right. Well, we are coming up on the back end of the show.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up. Any final thoughts? Kelsey, final thoughts?
Just teach your kids responsibilities. It teaches them problem solving.
Yeah.
100%.
You seem very on the side of chores. You
100%.
100%.
It teaches you preparation of life.
I gotcha. Coach,
I agree.
100%.
100%.
Kids
Yep.
listen to your parents, they know more.
They know better. This is classic. I love it. All right. Well, thank you guys. Again, big shout out to Minuteman Press and K Love's Creative Mind. Thanks again to the Ozbot. Thank you to Nico back there. And a big hi to Patrick. What's up, buddy? Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks for being behind the camera. Like, share, subscribe, and join us next week. We will be back again. Always great to see you, and have a great week.
Salute.
All right, podcasters, let's be honest for a second. If your show sounds like it was recorded inside of a tin can, in your cousin's basement, in a van down by the river with your dog barking in the background, it's time for an upgrade. That's where 216 Creator Studios comes in, the home of real production, real people who actually know what all those shiny buttons do. They've got pro mics, top-tier editing, and lighting that makes everyone look like they slept 8 hours, even if you didn't. Whether you're just starting out or you've been podcasting since people were still saying, smash that like button, give me a thumbs up. 216 Creator Studio helps you sound crisp, confident, and ready for the big leagues. So stop recording in your car, stop arguing with your USB mic, and get into 216 Creator Studios, where your podcast finally sounds as good as you think it does.